keeping you informed, prepared, and connected. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay.
Thanks for joining us for 10 Tampa Bay this weekend. I'm Miranda Parnell. It's been more than 2 weeks since Hurricane Milton made landfall near Siesta Key, and now several beaches along the barrier islands are back open. While hundreds of people headed out to the beach today, there's still a lot of cleanup ahead for the areas. So far, only a limited number of beaches are open. They include Siesta Key Beach, Nokomis, North and South Brohard, and Maxine Barrett Park on Venice Island. The openings this weekend have been welcome news for tourists hoping to check out the beaches, and for locals and businesses, it's a start in the return to normalcy.
Including the beach, we've been inland a lot more, but I say a lot of inland stuff's closed as well.
Obviously the village is quite a big entity to the beaches, so getting it cleaned up has been pretty good.
I think it will start healing because it's rough coming out here and seeing all the damage.
Some other beaches across the Bay Area have also opened up. You can find a complete list broken down county by county on the free 10 Tampa Bay app. Water restrictions are now changing for some folks in the Bay Area. We were in a months-long drought. Now, because of the heavy rainfall from recent storms, restrictions have loosened a little for folks hoping to keep their grass green. But don't get too comfortable. Officials spoke to our Angelicia Bruton about why more work needs to be done to truly keep up the progress.
About 3 months ago, I was able to walk on the bottom of this reservoir. But after 3 hurricanes, Tampa Bay Water says there's more than 15 billion gallons of water stored for the dry season.
Right before Hurricane Debbie, this reservoir had 3.5 billion gallons of water in it, not nearly enough to serve Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Pasco counties. After 3 hurricanes, the reservoir is now filled to the top. Before Hurricane Milton, managers moved 1 billion gallons out of the reservoir to lower the level and to prevent flooding. Tampa Bay Water says the hurricanes helped get us out of the drought, but so did conservation.
Your yard just got a foot of rain or more from the hurricane, probably don't need to water for a while. Certainly 1 day a week will be plenty now that we're going into the winter season when grasses go dormant.
Tampa Bay Water says the hurricanes provided a great shot of rain, but it's consistent rainfall that will stop Tampa Bay from experiencing drought conditions like it did last year. Angelicia Bruton, 10 Tampa Bay.
All that rain helped fill that reservoir, but it's also causing some issues with river flooding in parts of the Bay Area. Meteorologist Colleen Campbell joining us now with the latest.
Hey, Miranda. Yeah, so the last couple days we've seen the Withlacoochee really having an issue with slowly receding. You can see they're still in that major flood stage, and they're not going to get down into the moderate flood stage really until Halloween. Let's look at a couple different locations. This is Withlacoochee at Croom. Some minor improvements here. They are starting to approach that moderate flood stage, but today they are still in that major flood state. We are expecting some receding water there, but here's another location on the Withlacoochee. This is at Holder, and this is the opposite of what we want to see occur, where they are actually seeing water rise. Although it's a gradual, steady, small rise, it's still rising as we move towards the end of the month, the 29th and 30th. It's going to start approaching the 11-foot mark. So anybody that lives around this area, be aware that the water levels will be getting slightly higher. Today, it's about 10 inches, about 10 and a half inches, so it's going to rise another ½ inch in the next coming days. This weekend, we have the Bucks game that's happening tomorrow. Beautiful weather to enjoy. We're going to talk about what's bringing this nice weather, and of course, we will talk a little bit about tropics. They are nice and quiet. I'll give you that answer for now, and we'll have more in just a bit.
Pinellas County residents who are still struggling after Hurricanes Helene and Milton are getting some help from their community. The Juvenile Welfare Board held a food drive-through for those who lost everything in the storms. 10 Tampa Bay's Nick Volturo shows us how the community is banding together in a display of resilience as so many work to recover.
Compassion in action in Clearwater.
These kind of events really help people get food in their houses, feed their families.
An army of volunteers distributing food to those impacted by the hurricanes.
We lost all our food in our freezer and in our refrigerator. We got a side-by-side. We lost everything in it.
Herbert's lived in Florida for more than 40 years and never witnessed this type of devastation.
Piles of rubble that people have put out there from their homes. I mean, it's crazy, crazy.
Some arrived early, cars backing up for miles, waiting for their turn at the table.
They lost everything that was in their refrigerator. They lost days of work, so they can't easily go replenish it.
Each car received about 50 pounds of food, including meats with fresh fruits and vegetables.
When it comes to eating, to keeping the family going, these are wonderful.
They also handed out both adult and infant hygiene items like shampoo and diapers.
It's really helpful for the community because a lot of people have kids. Some people have like 4 and 5 kids, and they really need this stuff.
And for many here, events like these are a life preserver.
People like this doing what they can for other people, it's wonderful.
Helping turn that grief into gratitude.
Thank you for coming out. Have a good one.
It's an amazing community, and it's awful, but it's heartening to see how much people are helping each other.
In Clearwater, Nick Volturo, 10 Tampa Bay.
And the Juvenile Welfare Board will be hosting more pop-up drive-through events. You can find a list of those on their website or Facebook page. Over in Hillsborough County, Lato High School student government organized a drive to help families recovering from Hurricane Milton. The supply drive included much-needed items like furniture, clothing, food, school supplies, cleaning supplies, and even homecoming attire. The families we spoke with say this was all such a big help to get them back on their feet.
Everyone is going through a hard time right now, so I really feel like this has been a big help for not only my family, but others as well, as you can see in the background. Everyone is going through the same thing, so everyone just needs, love at this moment. Everyone needs to be kind to each other.
And hundreds came out to receive that help today, and because of the donations, the group was even able to offer some cash and gift cards. Right now, so many people need help, and resources are available for those impacted by the storms, from help rebuilding to shelter options to mental health resources. That information is listed on 10tampabay.com/recovery. Supporting families whose spouses may be deployed. Up next, the baby shower for moms needing a little extra love.
Election night 2024, the amendments, the local races, and the run for the White House.
10 Tampa Bay will have up-to-date results for you all night long with exclusive non-stop streaming coverage live right here on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. Live reports from all over our area and across the state.
And a local political panel from both sides will break down what it all means as the votes come in.
Watch 10 Tampa Bay and 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
Election night starting at 7. Jeopardy is for everybody.
Paramedic, retired teacher, psychiatrist.
The next super champion could be anyone. It could be you.
That's amazing.
On Jeopardy.
Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30 right here on 10 Tampa Bay.
10 Tampa Bay's Weather Impact Alert takes forecasting to the next level.
Especially during hurricane season.
Our Weather Impact team alerts you to dangerous weather days before it happens.
Landfall looking like Wednesday, early Thursday.
Telling you the impacts you can expect in your area.
Flash flooding from fresh water.
Not having power for a few days.
And how to stay safe.
Sebring, you need to be in your safe spot.
Weather Impact Alert only on 10 Tampa Bay. A mass shooting on the streets of Ybor.
So it was all hands on deck.
1 year later, 10 investigates the officer's response.
There's some rumors going around about this incident.
And what's changed on the force to keep streets safe. Monday at 11, only on 10 Tampa Bay.
Welcome back to 10 Tampa Bay This Weekend. I'm Miranda Parnell. 2 celebrations of life are now planned to honor USF men's basketball coach Amir Abdur-Rahim. The first service will be held tomorrow at 5 p.m. at Kennesaw State University, where he coached before coming to Tampa. The University of South Florida will honor the coach on November 2nd at the Yingling Center on campus. Abdur-Rahim passed away on Thursday after complications during a medical procedure. He was just 43 years old. And the world of hip-hop is mourning the loss of an influential producer tonight. Rodolfo Franklin, also known as DJ Clark Kent, passed away after a battle with colon cancer. He got his start in the 80s, DJing in various New York City clubs. He was also known to have worked with popular artists like Jay-Z, Mariah Carey, Queen Latifah, the Fugees, Ice Cube, and many more. He was 58 years old. 40 military moms-to-be and recent moms got treated to a special baby shower today. The event included a sit-down brunch, games, raffles, and some surprises. Families attending the shower were also gifted more than $1,800 worth of products, including a car seat, stroller, high chair, and full-sized crib and mattress. For these moms, it was a welcome treat to be honored.
It's huge. It's so big. We recently moved here and we did lose a lot in this storm, so it's going to help out a ton. You know, we lost diapers, baby clothes, a whole bunch of stuff, so it's really awesome.
This is the 11th year for the event. Jackson in Action 83 Foundation put on this event with the support from companies like Chico and Delta Children. Colleen, I hadn't even thought of that. If you were a new mom also impacted by the storm, just the way we saw the devastation is just hard to wrap your head around still.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people either, celebrating birthdays or having newborns. I mean, events that would normally be a happy time, and really a lot of folks feeling the strain from the storm. And we're with you. We're working through this just like you are, and we like to see the beaches open up. We like to see people supporting one another. But yeah, it has been hard. Now the weather has been pretty easy here. It's been pretty tranquil weather, nice dry conditions. Right now, that is the case outside. You're looking at a live view of the St. Pete Pier there. Temperatures are currently in the lower 80s, closer to the coast. Winds are nice and light from the northeast. Let's take a look at the current conditions across the rest of the region. Clearwater even cooler at 77 right now. Brooksville 82, Crystal River 79. We do have some warmer marks in Tampa 85, 82 in Zephyr Hills, Lakeland, Bartow. You get the idea. So a nice afternoon. We've had plentiful sunshine across the region. That's due to this area high pressure that did slide out into the Atlantic, giving us a northeast breeze for most of us. But along the coast here, notice that we have a little bit of a change in the wind direction. Normally during our rainy season, that would produce a shower, but it's been so dry that we haven't seen much rain. Now you can find rain along this stalled out stationary front. This front will approach our region as we move into the beginning of this week and basically close out October, increasing those wind speeds a little bit closer to home here. Again, thanks to that moisture that's driving in from the Atlantic. We do have a few showers that have been just brushing against the southern end of Highlands County and moving into DeSoto County. Really southwest Florida seeing the rain for today. The rest of us really just seeing high cloud cover. So next 12 hours here, temperatures will eventually drop down into the upper 60s. Another mild night, but the atmosphere did just adjust just a bit. So we're not going to have as widespread fog as we had this morning. But again, patchy fog definitely possible due to those milder temperatures and those lighter winds. Here's the visibility. You will notice some changes if anybody joined us yesterday. The fog, the visibility was much more reduced this morning. We're not really seeing that being a case for tomorrow morning. Now, that's not to say that we'll have perfectly clear skies. Still expecting a little bit of fog out there, but not quite as widespread. Hey, look at this. We have sunset times that are changing as we start November. That's because we fall back, right? So we lose an hour. Turning those clocks back, that means the sun is setting a little bit earlier. I know nobody really likes that time of the year, but you do gain an extra hour of sleep there. So those sunset times will be changing. All right, Falcons versus the Bucks. Let's check it out. We have nice weather once again. It will be a little bit warm, anybody going to the game, but we're calling it with winning weather. I think it will be a nice afternoon. Just make sure you're staying hydrated out there if you're enjoying the game. And look at this. No new tropical cyclones expected to form in the next several days. Now, we have been looking at the GFS models. You can't just go off of one model run. The ensemble models have really been all over the place, but I will say lately we have seen the GFS indicating that something will form. We know that early November. We're good through October, by the way. But if something does form, it likely will take that typical origin path where we're seeing it push out to the northeast. Listen, we're about a week to 2 weeks away from any of that happening. So stick with us. And of course, we'll update you if anything forms in the tropics. There's nothing out there right now to look at. So can't really talk about nothing when there's not much to see. 7-day forecast here, breezy conditions as that front begins to sink into our region. High pressure setting up behind that. That will create a warm Halloween, 87 for a daytime high. So make sure those trick-or-treaters are wearing a costume that's a little bit on the cooler side because that sunshine will be warm. Of course, again, we have fall back that's happening November 3rd. So mark that on your calendar as well.
And it's a nice weekend to get out for some Halloween events. It's Guppy-ween at the Florida Aquarium. Kids in costume get in free, and there are trick-or-treating stations. Over at Zoo Tampa, it's the last weekend for Creatures of the Night. And in Polk County, the Sheriff's Office is hosting its final Haunted Jail Tour in Bartow tonight. It's held at the old Polk County Jail near North Broadway. Adults are $15, and kids under 10 can get in for $5. All money raised will go to the United Way of Central Florida. I'm going to go over and plan out my Halloween with Colleen, and we'll be right back.
Election night 2024, the amendments, the local races, and the run for the White House.
10 Tampa Bay will have up-to-date results for you all night long with exclusive non-stop streaming coverage live right here on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. Live reports from all over our area and across the state.
And a local political panel from both sides will break down what it all means as the votes come in.
Watch 10 Tampa Bay and 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
Election night starting at 7.
Here are the stars of our show.
I am your host, Ryan Seacrest.
The Wheel You Love is back.
Yes! There it is.
Yeah, baby.
Let's have some fun.
Wheel, weeknights at 7 on 10 Tampa Bay. 10 Tampa Bay's Storm Recovery Special. Ask the Experts answered your hurricane-related questions.
We're here to get you the help you need.
From insurance to filing with FEMA, tree removal, and more.
When you start tearing into things that have visible mold on it, the spores can get in the air.
Even if you didn't experience damage, it can help you prepare for future storms.
Can a renter get help from FEMA?
Absolutely. Stream it today on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. Search Storm Recovery. Ask the Experts. A mass shooting on the streets of Ybor.
So it was all hands on deck.
1 year later, 10 investigates the officer's response.
There's some rumors going around about this incident.
And what's changed on the force to keep streets safe. Monday at 11, only on 10 Tampa Bay. This is Beautiful People Tampa Bay, sponsored by Advent Health.
You're watching 10 Tampa Bay this weekend. I'm Miranda Parnell. In the wake of recent hurricanes, one spot had a different kind of flood. Hillsborough County Pet Resource Center handled multiple animals through those storms. And in tonight's Beautiful People, 10 Tampa Bay's Jamison Euler introduces you to the volunteers and foster parents who have truly become a shelter in the storm.
Walking around the vast line of kennels at Hillsborough County's Pet Resource Center, I quickly saw the strain on resources our recent hurricanes put on the facility.
So before the storms even hit, we were at over 150% capacity for dogs. And cats, we were just at about 125% capacity before the storms even hit.
Then those numbers ballooned, owners surrendering their animals before and after the storm. Owners who were just trying to survive themselves. And then came even more animals.
Others were strays that came in. Maybe they just got loose during the storm. A fence blew down and somebody let them out, not knowing that their fence had blown down.
And I really like walking past all the cages and seeing kittens that I foster that are actually now up for adoption. That's the most amazing thing.
Amazing are the volunteers and fosters who have become the shelter in the storm for the Pet Resource Center in recent weeks. Volunteers like Katie McCary, who are currently fostering a handful of young kittens and 2 medical cases, including this sweet girl, Svetlana.
She's actually paralyzed. So she has no feeling in her legs from the kind of waist down.
McCary and her family have opened up their home to foster cats and dogs for years. She said the PRC helps all foster volunteers with free food, toys, medicine, and litter. But what's more important is the reward.
And you know that you really bridge that gap between them coming in the most horrible condition and you got them into a forever home. Like, you bridge that gap.
Other volunteers come up to help at the kennels or just to take a cat or a dog out for the day to play. McCary even takes some dogs out in public for what they call an adventure tale, with an Adopt Me bandana on as a walking advertisement.
My girlfriends and I bring out a dog for brunches in Hyde Park, and they always get adopted. Always.
Beautiful people doing beautiful things in the hardest of times.
In their eyes, you can see that they know that you saved them.
The Pet Resource Center needs more beautiful people to step up and help out, to volunteer their time or even foster. And they could also use some help getting their population down. And to do that, they're waiving all adoption fees this Saturday at their Halloween event on Falkenberg Road. That means you can find a new furry best friend for free this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. In the studio this evening, Jamison Euler, 10 Tampa Bay.
Hopefully some people got those little pups and kittens and they can have them ready for Halloween.
I know. I can't. I would adopt them all if I could. That's why I can't go to things like that, because I'll come home with one.
You're like, oh, I got 10.
Yeah. Yeah, Lola, my cat, she's
said,
the queen bee in my house.
Yeah. Just bring them here.
Woo, yeah.
See, I'm a hamster girl.
Oh, I like hamsters.
I like little hamsters. That's why we get along. We're on the same vibe.
Yeah, I feel that.
Well, we're gonna go look at hamsters and PetSmart, and then maybe check out the adopted dogs and the dogs that need to be adopted, and other cats as well. And we'll see you guys again tonight at 11. Stay with us.